Katie, like you just said, a little over an hour ago, Washington County Sheriff Larry Minks told us that they have arrested a suspect they believe is responsible for the murder of Frederick Usselton. That suspect is Charles Wayne Loy Jr., also known as Chucky Loy. Mary, Parkersburg police initially got the complaint about Jamie Delane molesting his 12-year-old niece last July, but they were unable to gather enough evidence to arrest him. That is until the Washington County Sheriff's Office stepped in to help. Parkersburg police interviewed the young girl and her mother a year ago. Natalie, the scene is actually just starting to wrap up. As you said, there was a gas leak at the Barlow Public Library. So what happened was a car mistook their gas pedal for their brake pedal and accidentally hit that gas pedal running over the gas meter there at the public library. And I'm going to move out of the way so you can try to see the scene a little bit. Katie, as you can see behind me, there are a lot of trucks in this lot. And today, nearly 300 people gathered to celebrate the production of the facility's 50,000th truck, a huge milestone for the company. Katie, you're absolutely right. It's not your typical delivery story, but it is a story we first brought to you on Monday. Brittany Godwin wasn't even able to make it to the hospital to deliver her third child because the labor was so quick. She had to deliver that child in the ambulance. Brittany says her contractions were just all of a sudden so close together around 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Katie, even though we can barely stand to be outside in this heat for longer than 5 minutes, many people still think it is okay to leave our pets outside or in vehicles on days like today, but that couldn't be more false. Katie, the Hockhocking-Adena Bikeway path stretches from Nelsonville to downtown Athens, and it goes past Ohio University. And now there are 2 plans in the works to extend it even further. One of those projects is called a Bikeway Spur, and that will connect the bikeway to Columbus Road. Ashley, as you can see behind me, there is a bit of a drop-off between the grass and the cobblestone brick, which is caused by erosion. Marietta City Councilman Roger Coulter says this erosion happened last year, but the levee itself has not been safe for walking for about 2 years. Katie, the nation's growing drug problem is no secret. As a matter of fact, West Virginia and Ohio have some of the worst numbers when it comes to overdoses and drug usage. The problem is so bad that 3 cities in the Mid-Ohio Valley are taking matters into their own hands to educate the public. Imagine you're sitting at work catching up on emails when suddenly an alarm or PA announcement comes over the speakers, informing you that there's an active shooter in the building. What do you do? The Department of Homeland Security says you have 3 choices: run, hide, or fight. David, officials are saying this new drug is 7.5 times more potent than morphine, but it looks like oxycodone. The drug goes by the name U-47-700 and is a small blue pill. Coach Pam began her career at PHS in the early 1990s, and she led both the girls and boys tennis teams to many championships. If the resolution does pass, signage will go up here at the complex in her memory. Good morning, Natalie. It's hard to believe that this festival has been around for 41 years, but it has, and it gets bigger and bigger every year, and the Stern Wheel Festival Committee says that this year is no different.
Visitors will not be disappointed.
Well, you heard her. About 30 stern wheelers, entertainment all weekend long, food vendors of all kinds, the car show, and of course the fireworks. There's something for everyone. David, according to the Ohio Attorney General's office, there are now more than 500,000 valid concealed carry license holders in the state, with more than 36,000 new permits issued in the first 3 months of this year alone. That's a record for any quarter and a 132% increase over the same period last year. David, when we reported on this story in April, there was an 18-inch drop-off between the grass and the cobblestone brick that you see behind me here. But since then, new sod has been laid to prevent any future erosion. That sod was taken from Indian Acres Park and laid here just after Memorial Day. It has been 370 days since Belpre lost one of its rising seniors, Hunter Berkey, to a heroin overdose. Since then, the entire community has come together to fight the drug abuse problem. Now the state of Ohio is calling on the schools. Ashley, pedestrian accidents are a big problem all across the country, but especially right here in Ohio, with a 124% increase in fatal accidents in just a year's time. David, the Riverfront Roar is only an hour in, and as you can see behind me, there are so many people here already and so much fun to be had. From vendors to bands to races, there's something for everyone this weekend. Ashley, whether it's flooding, a chemical spill, or a large accident, there are several agencies involved in getting everything back to normal after an emergency. Today, agencies from all over Washington County gathered to go through a possible scenario. Katie, I don't know if you can hear behind me, but the music is bumping, and the fair actually did kick off this past Friday, and there were a few events over the weekend, but today the excitement is really picking up. The rides are open now. There were a few animal shows earlier today, and those will continue throughout the rest of this week. You can expect all of the traditional events this week, the demolition derby, rodeo, and all of the rides and livestock shows. Little Roman was born completely healthy without any problems. Brittany says she can't wait to tell little Roman about this story when he gets a little bit older and about how he was born. And it was a Labor Day starting with a quick labor for this mother of three.